First messages that I'm getting for you is I feel like something is almost like a learning process, meaning that it seems to me like they're saying you might be in the process of trying to work things out with another person. And a lot of the times when dealing with another person, we think to ourselves, well, if I do this, then I should expect, this outcome. Or um, I want to do this for this at such and such, mainly because it's something that they need. But when it boils down to it, I feel that the other person might be in the best position to gauge what it is that they really need or what it is that they really want. So I feel that you're coming into the process. It's like I feel like it's a bargaining process, and I also feel that it's a process of like learning to work with another person either in the work front or in the romantic front, and being able to do that in a manner where you are going to have to really assess and really gauge and understand what it is that the other person needs, rather than projecting what it is that you think they need onto them. Okay, so it's a very, very delicate balancing act, and I do sense that you're going to be able to do it successfully if you just listen to the things that they're trying to say and in how they're expressing their needs. The other thing that I'm feeling is that I do feel this is a very, very strong month. You're pretty much hitting the ground running. There's a lot of responsibilities to take care of. There's a lot of work to do. It's very like mundane, everyday work, staying afloat, taking care of practical responsibilities type of a work month. So I do feel that if you're, very goal oriented, and you're like very check box oriented, checklist oriented, this is going to be a really, really smooth month for you. On the other hand, if you are like kind of dragging your feet, and because you usually make decisions with another person, like your decisions is contingent, usually are contingent upon another person, this is going to be a little bit frustrating then, because I feel there's a lot of people sitting on the fence. There's a lot going back and forth, like, thinking what the other person needs versus what they themselves really truly need. So all of these things are coming up for reexamination. I definitely feel as well some things here about children. I feel like a lot of you might be in a situation that involves children, and it's a very tenuous situation, and I feel that you might love the other person, the spouse, or the person that you're with, to death. There are children in between the two of you, so it could be your children, their children, or both of your children blended together as a family. And I do feel that there are some things that your significant other or your spouse are going to be doing this month that's going to rub you the wrong way. That's going to give you like a pause for concern, and it's triggering some type of long held belief or long standing disputes between the two of you. So all of these things need to be aired out, and they need to be aired out in a very, very productive manner. Okay, so I feel it's a good month to compromise and to come to a conclusion for existing problems, and it's a good month overall to get to the root of some long-standing issue. All right, but I do sense that there's some of you that are dealing with a significant partner, and I feel like you really care about this person, but you might realize that they might not be the best for you around your children. So that's one major thing I'm seeing for some of you. Okay. Let me see if there's anything else here. I do sense that they're saying, one of the main things here is think about your commitments, and commitment is it as in relationships, obligations as well, and they're not really specifying, you know, which sector that's coming through as, but I feel like they're telling you, think about your commitments, think about your obligations, and think about how you are upholding them, whether or not you are able to uphold them, and whether or not the other person that you're dealing with is also holding up their end of the bargain. Really think about that, because that's going to tell you where you need to go. Okay, so I hope that makes sense for some of you. So let's go into your reading, Leos. The first thing deals with your finances and your public image, okay? And both of these are very, very positive card. So the first thing here is the Three of Pentacles as well as the Sun. The Three of Pentacles indicates a collaborative type of an environment where you are going to have to work and share ideas, bounce ideas off of, and expand your ideas with another person or a group of people. So these are people that you are working in close proximity with in order to build something of value together. So it's not really an individual effort, it's more of a joint effort involving, ideas exchange, building upon tweaking, altering, and ultimately coming up with the best practices or the best solution. The sun indicates a lot of success that's going to be coming through for you guys generally in the work environment as it pertains to collaborations with other people, okay? The sun is also a card about the ego. The Three of Pentacles is a card about compromise and collaboration. So both of these things can sometimes be at odds with one another. And you are also the sign of Leo. You're ruled by the sun, and the sun indicates, the ego, the id. So it's really, really important to know what you're trying. What's the end goal here? Like really think about that, okay? And really think about like what do you need to curb? Do you need to curb your ego in order to work in this environment, or do you need to let your ego shine in order to, for other people, in order to like take on the role of the leader in this environment? So I feel like coming into, like having a strong sense of self, knowing where you stand in relation to other people, and knowing whether or not, you're meant to be working in a capacity where you're collaborating with other people or you're meant to lead them, knowing where you stand in relations to other, that's going to be really important for this month. And I do feel a lot of success overall for those of you who are business owners or who are trying to get a higher position or even trying to expand your businesses or expand your craft or even to collaborate with other people to do some type of training seminar or some type of teaching. These are very good combinations to have, okay? So the next cluster here is the Strength card and the Judgment card. Both of these are major arcanas, and they're going to signify some major turning points, major events that are coming through in your life, okay? So I'm going to say this, and this is something I was picking up earlier too. I feel that for a lot of you, you need to like really push ahead and to implement some type of drastic change in your own life. You might realize that, things cannot continue as they have in the past, mainly because it's not giving you the outcome that you're looking for. And I feel that there is some sense of a higher wisdom coming through that is going to allow you to see a situation for what it really is, and for you to realize that this is not a situation that is good for me, for my mental well being, for my mental health in the long run. So I'm going to have to work up the courage in order to push through and push forward with changes myself, okay? Now, with the Strength card, I usually see it as a card that deals with like two very different people, two different entities coming together. There is a lot of love, there is a lot of attraction, there is also a lot of lust involved with this card. And it also denotes to me two people that cannot see eye to eye with one another, but they do care about one another. It's a card about power, manipulation, and in its negative manifestation, it can also deal with seduction. So I feel like a lot of you might be taken in by another person that is very seductive, that you are really emotionally moved by, okay? And I feel that the relationship might have been very tumultuous, okay? And I also feel that there might be children, there might be family associated with this. And I do sense that this is the month in which this major relationship is being brought up for re-examination via the judgment card, where everyone comes together and has to decide what's the best outcome here, what are we trying to achieve, and what do we need to do to move forward, either as a couple, as a unit, or even individually. So there are going to be a lot of talks, a lot of discussions about some sort of a commitment. And I definitely feel that some groundwork, I see you coming together with others, and laying down some type of ground rules in order to get this relationship to work, okay? Laying down the ground rules as to, what are what are the mutual expectations, and what do both people need to do in order to uphold their end of the bargain. So I feel like it's a major bargaining process happening between you and a very significant person that you might not work well together with, and now everything is coming to light, and you're going to have to decide, how do we move from this, and what are our options? Like, how do we both do this so that it's fair, so that it's manageable for both parties? What's coming in terms of your finances? We do have the Five of Pentacles and the Two of Swords. And let's talk about the Two of Swords first, because this energy came in first. The Two of Swords indicates a decision, a point of stalemate, indecisiveness, as well as hitting a crossroad in the long road of life, and not knowing where to turn. So on the one hand, you can see she is blindfolded. She's got her swords covered her chest, which is somebody who is very emotionally and even mentally very protective, okay? They've got their sword up, they've got their walls up, and they're keeping people at arm's length. On the other hand, their intuition is giving them all the information that they already know, so there's a lot of confirmation here. Intuition is going to be very strong for you guys, for Leos this month, and trust your intuition. I feel like you're at a major crossroad when it comes to a relationship. And I do feel it is a karmic, significant relationship here with the Five of Pentacles. The Five of Pentacles usually indicates like either could be like on a soul level, very karmic, in which you care about the other person. No matter what they do, you always take them back. You always forgive them. The Five of Pentacles is the couple that's cast out in the cold, but no matter what, they still got each other. And it's kind of like that ultimate, to death do us part, through thick and thin. And it's two people that's willing to go through hell and back for one another. So there is a very strong karmic cord of attachment here. And this mentality about to death do us part, it's for some people it's very honorable. For other people it can be construed as being toxic. So depending on which side of the coin you're on, I feel like this is erring on the toxic side. So just be very careful about this. And I also feel like you might have finances. For others of you, if it's a karmic relationship and the love is not there anymore, I definitely feel you might have joint assets, financial considerations that are linking you up together. Therefore, it's really difficult for you to extract yourself. So I feel like some major decision you're ruminating over or mulling over, a major decision as it pertains to property and a significant relationship partner, and you're trying to decide on how to go forward and which way to move forward with, okay? I feel that what they're telling you here is that a lot of you are going to decide to move on here with the Six of Swords. The Six of Swords is moving from a place of difficulty into an environment that is safer, that is more calm, more serene, and it's it jives better with your energy. So overcoming a lot of hardships in order to go to a place that is more conducive for growth and for future progression. And I feel that a lot of you, if it's one of the emotional kind, when you have an emotional tie with another person, then I feel that you're going to be able to extract yourself and to move forward physically and also mentally and emotionally. For others of you who are linked up together via property, via some type of financial arrangement. I feel that the financial arrangement, unfortunately, is going to get in your way, blocking your progress in this move. So, depending on which side of the coin you're on, once again, I do feel some major decisions are being made, and finances are going to be like one of the main mitigating factor that's preventing you from moving forward. Okay, so I feel that happening as well. For others, I see some type of transition when it comes to the work environment. Possibly taking a job situation that is a little bit further from your geographical location and moving forward with a job that's going to pay you handsomely and moving forward in a way that's going to allow you to rebuild your financial foundation and your financial base. Okay, and honestly, I feel like a lot of you, this whole transition that process that's happening for you, I don't feel that you're doing it gladly. I feel that you might be doing it begrudgingly. And along this process, there is an earth sign. This is a Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, male or female, that is going to be able to provide either the financial assistance in order for you to do that, or they're going to somehow facilitate or streamline the process that will allow you to extract yourself and to be financially independent in order to do that. Okay, so I feel like some type of assistance coming in potentially from an earth sign that is going to facilitate this process for you. For others of you, I do see a voyage coming through, and you might be traveling with another person. You might be traveling with an earth sign, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, in order to attend a seminar, in order to start a job. You might come across this person in a new work environment as well. So I do feel there is a great room for potential and change coming into your future, okay? So in terms of your advice, we have here the Ten of Wands, and usually when I look at the Ten of Wands, it's traditionally like a lot of responsibilities on the our plate, a lot of things that we need to take care of on the practical end. So there is a smart way to do this, and also a the hard way. So you can choose accordingly. And what I feel is, this is not a month for you to be alone. This is not a month for you to like say that I think my way or the highway, or I feel like my plans are the best, so I'm going to try to implement them. It's not the month for you to do that. Okay, so going back to what I mentioned earlier, it's about independence and collaboration, and I do sense that working with other people and taking to heart what other people are trying to help you with and taking to heart their advice, it's going to bode well for you, and it's really going to facilitate the process so that you can unburden yourself of these worries, of these restrictions, and to be able to move forward in a manner that's not so like cumbersome. So I do feel there is an easier way to do things this month, and you're going to have to be creative, think outside the box, collaborate, and welcome the exchange of knowledge and information that will take you to this point, okay? So I feel like admitting that we might not know the answers, admitting that we need to go back and do some preliminary review, admitting that there are some things that we might not have all the information about, so then we need to go back, go back to the drawing board, go back and redo something in order to get the outcome that we want. I feel like that's coming through for you, but on the at the same time, it's basically telling you, for those of you who are hesitant about starting some major change on your own, mainly because you don't feel that you have all the tools, you don't feel that you have all the skills, and you don't feel that you might be lacking in the self-confidence to make it a success, is basically telling you with this magician card that you have all the tools at your disposal. You're very skilled, you're very capable. You might have been pushing forward with the wrong things in the past in the wrong manner, and it didn't pan out. So take that, whatever happened in the past, as a life lesson, and to move forward by carving out doing the additional research, laying down the groundwork for yourself to make sure this time around it's going to be successful. And I do feel then the success card following this, the three advice cards, indicates to me success is imminent. Success is going to come in, and whatever ideas, whatever projects you've been trying to get off off the ground, I do feel that it's saying that push forward. There might be a situation sometime this month for you where you have to go back to the drawing board to redo something. And Mercury in retrograde is also a very, very good time to go back and to review and make necessary changes. So I feel like that's what's happening here. You might encounter some problems that someone might bring to your attention, and then you might have to go back and fix it, and as a result of it, the project continues forward and it becomes a major, major hit, major success. Okay, so don't give up. There's going to be a lot of abundance, I feel, coming through for you guys. It seems to me like it's a busy month. There's a lot of things happening. There's a lot of like new things that are trying to start, and old things that you're still thinking about. And when it comes to those old things, you're not really cutting them out of your life. I don't feel that yet, but I feel that you're seriously thinking about it. But I feel like you're starting other things while the old things are still hanging on by like a loose thread, which is not something that I recommend. So if that sounds familiar to you, end the old previous things before you start the new, because I feel like you're scattering your energy a little bit. Okay, so you're pushing forward with a lot on your plate, and just do things in a smart manner. So that means closing some doors before you open up new ones. Okay, that way you know where you're going. So that's what I'm seeing for you guys, Leos. Let's see what's in store for you for love and relationships. Yeah, I'm sorry about this arrangement, and I'm kind of crouched over because this is not my usual setup. I'm traveling, so I apologize for the delay, and I apologize for the format if it's just different from the other months. So what's in store for you guys? Love, relationships. Okay, what's the challenge here? Okay, well, I'll leave it here. There are two of them. Yeah, I feel like a lot of you are trying to leave one thing behind because you've already got something else lined up, like you're trying to break things off with one person, and it's because you've already got another person lined up. So, well, at least I guess it seems like you're trying to end something, so that's good. Let me see your overall energy. 5 cards, mirror spread. So yeah, let's do that. Okay, and advice. Okay, so let's look at this situation here. So the overall energy here is the Justice card, and the Justice deals with some type of legal situation that is coming through to affect the love relationship for this month. For a lot of you, it could be like, legal issue with the previous spouse, legal issue pertaining separation, contracts, relationship status of a person comes to mind. Obligations via finances, via spousal support, via children. All of these things are coming through here with the Justice card, okay? And whenever I see this, I think about, the somebody like a very, very protective mom with her child in the back, and she's very cautious about who she lets in, who she or he lets into her or his life, because there are children involved. There are like impressionable young children that are easily taken in. So there's a lot of like concerns regarding family unit and things like that that's affecting your romantic life. In terms of the challenge position here, we do have the Two of Wands, and the Two of Wands indicates a situation that is, there's a lot of attraction with another person. The relationship itself, right now, I don't feel that it is a serious relationship just as of now, just yet. The Two of Wands traditionally indicates a relationship. It's a two card, but there's only one person that's really doing everything that they can or within their power to build the relationship up. And the other person that's supposedly in the relationship is kind of like not aware, not interested, or is not on the same page. As a result, one person is doing a lot of the work and the other person is not like really involved in the picture, okay? This is the beginning of seeing the potential in someone. I see it like starting to date, and I feel like the main challenge is that the other person is just not ready just yet to give you that relationship or that commitment that you're looking for. It could also be you because you're still attached legally to another person, so you're trying to slow down the process. The other card that's showing up in the challenge position here is the Five of Cups in the reverse. The Five of Cups in the reverse is like feeling sadness, regrets, and things like that. This is something that happened in the recent past, but at this point in your life, you've overcome that whole sadness and grief. You've met somebody else, and I feel that a lot of you are trying to move things forward with another person, and in the meantime, you're trying to end things with an existing person so that you can forge ahead and move ahead and even I feel like relocate. So a lot of you might be in a situation where you have children with another person. You are court ordered like to stay in a certain proximity or a geographical location, and you might not be able to move as freely, and then now your job might take you somewhere else, your new relationship might take you somewhere else, so you feel like the need to move. So all of these things are coming up for re-examination here. In terms of the overall energy here, we do have the Chariot, and the Chariot indicates movement. The chart also indicates, disparate energies. The two seahorses are looking in different direction, and traditionally, it's consider the black and the white horse, like two separate entities trying very hard to work together as a unit and in order to pull in the right direction. What's really affecting it here is I do have the Four of Wands as well as the Temperance card. The Four of Wands indicates a marriage type of a situation. The Temperance card usually indicates emotional imbalance, okay? So there is definitely some type of a volatile home environment that's coming through. Two people are trying really hard to get together and to move along in the same direction, wanting the same things. One person might want marriage, the other person might like not have their financial situation sorted out just yet. So even though they love the other person, they're still not in a position to make sacrifices or to plan things out, years in advance. They're only like planning their life in short snippets of time, like a month at a time. What I'm also feeling is for some of you, you might be dealing with a person that has like some type of a alcohol issue that comes to mind. So I feel like when they drink, they might, become a different person, and it's really hard for you to have a relationship with them. Like I feel like you might love them, but it's just really difficult to feel safe, to feel secure about your future, and to feel safe with the children involved in the picture as well. So I feel like a lot of you are going to have to make some difficult decisions pertaining a relationship partner, especially if they are, like if they have an issue with drinking and things like that in the past. What's also coming through here, we do have the Hangman in the reverse, which is like no longer waiting for opportunities, no longer putting your life on hold for another person. So the Hangman in the reverse basically means grabbing life by the horns and forging ahead for yourself, and no longer like putting yourself or subjecting yourself to the whims of fate. Okay, so this is like reclaiming your power. This is but basically like cutting yourself free from a very, very unstable situation where you were waiting for the results of somebody else. This is also a card about sacrifice, making a sacrifice for the greater good. So when that comes through, I'm inclined to feel like cutting off one relationship partner, because even though, like you really do love them, and I do feel there's a lot of love permeating this spread, it's just somebody is not able to control themselves. That whoever it is that you're romantically involved with, I feel like you might realize that they're not good for you. I keep seeing, drinking issues and things like that. It's linked up with the death card, which basically means movement in a different direction, in a different trajectory altogether. In terms of your advice, we do have the Four of Coins here, which is they're telling you that financially you will be okay. So if you're concerned about making some type of a clean break, I do feel you're going to be okay and you're going to be quite successful. So it's about counting your pennies, being resourceful, and looking at other options that are made available to you as well, okay? So they're saying not to be so protective of your feelings. And if you are single and trying to implement like a new lifestyle change, I definitely feel that you're going to be able to do this in a very successful manner. We have the Wheel of Fortune right now as well, and the Wheel of Fortune usually shows up when a person is opportunities are coming through for them in abundance, okay? When it's in the reverse, opportunities, good or bad, all are flooding in. So it's not that you don't have the time or the opportunities to push ahead just yet. I do feel the opportunities are there, but whether or not you choose to go with everything at your disposal or everything that is offered to you, that is another issue altogether. But I do feel that they're saying here that two things cannot start at the same time, okay? That is the overwhelming message for you. So that means cutting some ties with a previous situation first, clearing out that energy, mourning the end of that relationship before something else can come in and before something else can get off the ground. So it's basically telling you with both of these cards, it's like um, don't like stretch your energy too thin among too many people. Resolve whatever situation is at the root of it first. So that means resolving whatever conflict with one person before you can move on, and have a more successful dating environment, okay? For others of you with the Hermit, it can simply mean that especially if you're in a committed partnership, okay? I feel like if you are in a committed relationship and especially in a house situation, it is very stable right now. The only problem is you or your partner might be traveling a lot. Somebody might not be getting adequate sleep. There is an element of time difference here where you're not able to talk as much, where somebody's traveling all the time and the other spouse might be missing uh, the other party, and as a result, you might be forced to do a lot more things on your own to take care of your kids, and you might feel a little bit isolated and alone from your romantic partner. But I definitely feel that it's very stable still. I do have the happy home card. I just feel like there's an element of time difference and people not being able to coordinate a time to meet, a time to go on dates, and a time to have fun. And I feel like for singles, the same thing is happening. It's telling you to really assess your choices, okay? Don't I guess like shift seamlessly from one relationship to the next. Take some time off to be on your own to really figure out what it is that you want. And I do feel that's going to make you a more directed and more purposeful when it comes to seeking the relationship partner that you want in the future. So I feel like you're trying to hold on tight to a situation that might not be entirely good for you. So it's telling you, have faith and try to release this situation in a timely manner so that it doesn't affect you energetically and it doesn't block other blessings from coming into your life, okay? I do feel as well that for some of you, you might be romantically involved with someone who is married, okay? We have the happy home here. and you were hoping in the past, hoping, waiting in suspension for them to either like get separated or get some type of divorce. And I do feel that they're stuck together mainly for financial reasons and mainly because it is a very unhealthy bond between these two people. And as a result, this is the month in which you are trying your best to gather the courage to move on and not wait for that other person in the hopes that they are going to leave their existing relationship. And in the process of trying to move on, I do feel that you are a little bit like emotionally unbalanced. You are a little bit like depressed. And if that's the case, then it's telling you to spend time on your own and to really look at this situation, because I feel like you might have a tendency to attract somebody who is like emotionally unavailable, and I feel like this might be a recurring thing, okay? So if this is something that's coming through, I don't feel that it's the person that you're in love with. It's just the idea of wanting somebody and wanting that excitement, that, angst associated with like having a relationship with someone who's not emotionally available. So this is something for you to really reassess, because I feel like you might have a recurring thing where you are attracted to, the same type of person, and they might not be emotionally available, okay? And it seems like it's a recurring problem, all right? Your emotional needs are not being met in your relationship, and as a result of it, you might just settle for the ones that are in relationships already. So just be very, very careful, Leos. I do wish you the best for this month, and I apologize. I feel like the messages are coming in very, very clearly and succinctly, so I can't give an alternate explanation or an alternate like narrative. So my website, the information is in the description box below. Take care of yourself. I'll be back for the mid-month reading. Bye bye.